Hello and welcome to our training on personalizing your Blackboard. We'll start by kind of personalizing this area of your Blackboard, what you see when you first log in. So first of all, I'll point out this global navigation bar up here. It's the box in the top right corner of your screen with your name in it. If you click on that, generally you'll see a list of your courses, you'll see different notes over here and a notification bar. What we're going to look at least first, is this subcategory down here that says settings. When you click on that, you'll see that there are some different options of settings that you can edit on your computer. So for this change text size, that's primarily zooming in and out. That's its suggestion. But if you did want your computers to have bigger text or smaller text, you could do that there. High contrast, generally it'll recommend the Blackboard settings and themes that are already there. Personal information is where you'll see a lot of things that you can actually edit for yourself. I'm clicking on that personal information. You can't really edit your personal information for Blackboard, like for this top link. That's your username, what the name is, and the email that's associated with it. If you need that change, you can contact us at CIDT and we can help with that. But for the most part, that information doesn't need to be changed. For personalize my settings, that's where you can add a picture. If you notice in your global navigation bar, by default, it's this little icon that looks kind of like a person. If I click on personalize my settings and set it, by default, it should be on do not display avatar image. If I click on use a custom avatar, I can click on browse my computer, and you'll notice right here, it'll give you kind of a size guideline of 150 pixels by 150 pixels. It's a pretty small icon. And also it'll make whatever image you put in there square, so it might distort it. But I'm gonna go ahead and add a picture. All right, and you can also set your courses to display only on, or the most visited courses, I guess. But I'm gonna uncheck that. All right. I don't know if I took that. Maybe the next time I log in, it will be. Change personal settings. So this is where you can change how the language that Blackboard is displayed in is shown, or the calendar that's used. So if I spoke another language, I could, well, I guess it's English or English. I assume that it would have some more. I think in other versions it does, but for us, I guess it does not. For calendars, you probably don't need to mess with them too much. Gregorian is the traditional standard. This might be useful if you're wanting to base your course, if you're wanting to base the course on the Monday schedule that does exist. But it might also confuse you or your students. So generally leaving it on the default is a good idea. And the page instructions aren't really necessary. Privacy isn't, I don't know if you intended that to be covered, because it doesn't really do a whole lot, but it's saying what people can see, which most people can't see a lot of your information anyways. So for that, that's the primary personal information that you can edit. You can also edit your notification settings, so what emails you receive, what notifications you see, and if you notice, there's always this little red box with a number in it that shows how many notifications you've received in your courses. You can edit which courses do give you notifications or not. As an example, if I didn't want notifications from this course, I would click on the name and I could choose what I wanted to have viewed. If I don't want any notifications from the course at all, I would just uncheck them all. If I actually want these notifications to come in my email, I would make sure and check them over here. If I want to clear all the checks I've done, I click on this top check box once, and then again to clear them all. But yeah, it's pretty simplistic for what notifications you'll see. This dashboard is up there. That's what it's referring to. The mobile would be if you were using the app. And that's about it for how that works. Once you've set it up, you'll just click on submit. But since I didn't really change anything I wanted to change, I'll go ahead and cancel. So that's kind of a lot of the individual editing you can do. You can also edit them in bulk. So this general area of bulk edit notification settings, you can click on courses I'm teaching, and you can select multiple courses to edit at once. And it'll be the same. Privacy in terms of use is just a notice for you. So now we'll go ahead and go back to the My SE page, which is, again, the main page that you come into whenever you enter Blackboard. From here, there are these little boxes. You can change them. You can change where they're placed by clicking and dragging them where you want them. You can also, if you don't want them expanded, just as a simple thing, you could click on those arrows right there to unexpand. Generally, you want to see what's going on there, though. If there are things that you don't want to see anymore, when you hover over them, there's this little X right there. You can close it if you needed. You can also add modules back. So click on that add module, and you can choose things that you want added right over there. I didn't really want that other, so I'm okay with that being gone. And yeah, so that's kind of the clicking and moving around that you can do. Something else to notice for your My Courses area, if you have courses that you don't want to see anymore, you can, if you hover over the My Courses, there's this little gear-shaped icon. If you click on that, you'll see all the courses that you're enrolled in, however you're enrolled in them, and you can just uncheck the ones you don't want to see. If you don't want to see the course at all, you can click, again, kind of like what we did earlier. You just click on the one that has the select all or unselect all option once, and then again to uncheck it all. Once you've set it up to be what you want, you'll click on submit, and you'll see that that course is gone now. And just as a separate note that is related, there's this My Courses area, but there's also My Courses up here. Those editing My Courses here won't affect this My Courses. So if you wanted those old courses gone there as well, you'd have to go to My Courses again and do the same thing. But I like my Courses to have all the courses I'm enrolled in case I need to reference it. All right. So if we want to personalize it a little bit, there's also this personalized page button. If we click on that, you'll see that there are some colors that you can add. If I wanted my Blackboard to not be this kind of gray over here, I could say, oh, I'd like sky or something like that. And when I push on submit, it should update the look to appear like this now. And you'll see a notification saying that it was successful. Now that we have done that, you can do something similar in your own courses. So for example, I'll go ahead and go into the workshop sandbox. And you'll see here that it has this kind of fun space theme in the background. You may not be able to see it super well on this one. I think, or not, tutor. Oops, I meant to click on tools. Oh, I thought there would be more show at the bottom. Oh, but what this background is just one of the themes. You can see which theme you have already by scrolling down, and you'll see it with a check mark. So this is Blast Off. If I thought the workshop sandbox would do better with the mosaic, all I have to do is click on that one, and I can see what it looks like. And so that's a nice way to kind of change how your course looks if you need something better than what is currently visible. And I will also note that with these themes that you choose, it affects the text color here, but also in your grade center. So you'll notice that the text here is the same color as this. If you happen to do something like, I've heard of this problem with chalkboard, sometimes that gray and that blue are hard to see. So just be aware that some contrast issues may exist with different themes. You can also change your theme though if you go into customization down here and then teaching style. And with that, you can, again, the themes are down in there. You can scroll through them to choose and preview them before you even click on it with that other. With this area, though, you can also change what students see when they come in your course. So if you prefer them to see announcements right away, you can select that. If you'd prefer them to hop right in to start here or coursework, you could also do that. But generally, course homepage is pretty useful since it has all of those little modules right here. With this area, you can also change some of the button colors, but I will also note that that doesn't change the Grade Center. The Grade Center will still use the default text color. You can change it to be text. If you wanted it to be buttons, that might also work better for you. You can change the type of buttons as well, and the colors with those. Generally, this is the most popular way of going about it, where it's just a link. You can also edit the actual background of the menu itself. Generally, the default is this, and you'll see that it says transparent. If you wanted it to be a different color, you could. Generally, the background will match the theme. With the content view, I wouldn't mess with this just because you generally want to see what the icon is to tell you what you're going to be clicking into, as well as the text of the icon itself. You could also add a different banner here, but that one really, your courses should already have banners in them. All right. So this is other customization that you could access as well. With this properties area, that's where you can see when the name of your course is, if it's available, stuff like that. Yeah. So that's really the main thing that you'll actually be able to edit inside of your own courses.
The landing page.
Yeah, that was what we talked about in that teaching style. And this entry point is right here. Yep. Awesome. So going back to the home page, this is another place where you can work on those modules if you wanted. Yeah, this is the same page. Okay, cool. But you could, again, move it around if you wanted, or delete them if you didn't want them. If I wanted it to be more compact, that's what I would do.
We have a lot of students that try and take the course from the course calendar or from their to-do lists.
Yes.
So we have a lot of instructors that delete the to-do lists here, or delete the course calendars here.
Yes.
So it forces the students to actually go into the coursework folders to look for their assignments. Another thing that instructors do is they force the landing page for it to go into Start Here rather than going to this course homepage. The course homepage is glitchy at times depending on what version of Blackboard that we have, because sometimes if you don't add things to the calendar, if depending on how it's added to the assignment or whatever it is, then it doesn't appear in their to-do list. And so you can have it go into the coursework folder or go into Start Here rather than going on to this course homepage. And it's less confusing to students.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Oh, and I'll also notice if you've ever seen these arrows over here that go up and down, that's rather than a click and drag option, it would just be keyboard accessible moving of items. So if you clicked on that, you could say, oh, in column 1, I actually want my tasks over there. Oh, didn't I? Oh, this way. Okay. And you'll follow the arrows to move it however you need. I'm going to put it back though. You move them up and down, all of that. Okay. Just if you ever wanted to look at that. Okay. So with that, you can also add course modules like we did before. If I wanted them to be able to have their grade right there, I could do this report card. Okay. So you can see that it automatically went down there. I'm an instructor and no one's been grading me, so I don't really have anything there. But if you wanted your grades to be right on the homepage, if you do have the homepage as the landing page, that might be a good thing to have there. Announcements are generally good to keep as well. Apart from that, is there anything else that you would want to discuss?
I think that's it.
Okay. Does anyone that is here have any questions? If anyone has questions after this, feel free to email CIDT and we'll be happy to talk about anything that you'd like to know or like to have worked out. And let us know if you need anything. All right. Have a good one.